The kingdom wanted to choose its prime minister. 4 great intellectuals of the country were summoned. They were placed in a room, and the king said to them, "The door will be closed in front of you, and the lock on the door is not an ordinary lock. It will be opened with a mathematical table. Until you solve that table, you will not be able to open the lock. If you can solve the question correctly, you can open the door and come out." The king went out and closed the door. 3 of the 4 men immediately started working. Numbers were written on the lock. They wrote down the numbers and started working with them. The 4th person was just sitting in a corner. The 3 thought he was crazy. He was sitting in a corner with his eyes closed and not doing anything. After a while, he got up, went to the door, turned the knob, it opened, and he went out. And the 3 continued to work without interruption. They didn't even see what happened, that the 4th person had left the room. When the king returned to the room with this person, he said, "Stop working. The test is over. I have chosen my prime minister." They couldn't believe it and asked, "What happened? He didn't do anything. He was just sitting in a corner. How could he solve the problem?" The man said, "There was no problem at all. I just sat down, and the first question and the fundamental point were whether the lock was closed or not. The moment I felt it, I just sat in silence. I became completely quiet and told myself where to start. The first thing any intelligent person would ask is whether there is a problem and how to solve it. If you try to solve it, you will go to infinity and never get out of it. So I just went to see if the door was locked, and I saw that the lock was open." The king said, "Yes, the key was right here. There was no lock. The lock was open. I was waiting for one of you to ask the real question, and you started solving it. Right here, you missed the point. Even if you had worked on it your whole life, you wouldn't have been able to solve it. This man knows how to be alert in a situation. He asked the right question.